Hello, and welcome to this discussion about some of the important events in the history of music education and the people associated with them. While it may be challenging to choose just a handful of events to speak about in terms of their importance to music education in public schools, there are significant events worthy of discussion. We will begin in the 20th century with events that may not have seemed significant at the time, but have had a huge impact on music education as we know it today. After World War I, major changes began to occur in the world of instrumental music. Community and professional bands were dwindling in numbers, and instrument manufacturers were looking for a solution for their dwindling sales. To increase sales through school music participation, manufacturers launched the Schools Band Contest of America in June of 1923. The tournament, as it was called, was held in conjunction with the annual convention of the Music Industries Chamber of Commerce in Chicago. It was poorly organized, but well advertised and propagandized. The band from Fostoria, Ohio, was declared the winner by the contest's sole judge. Despite its poor organization and challenges, the music manufacturing industry considered the event a success and began to plan for a continuation of the event. A partnership was struck between the Music Supervisors National Conference, the National Bureau for the Advancement of Music, and the Band Instrument Manufacturers Association. To ensure better national representation, the contest was expanded to include 5 regional elimination contests. The contest was made more educational, with a repertoire list used to select a common number for every band to play. With these new requirements in place, the contest experienced a successful relaunch in 1926 in Fostoria under the organizational leadership of John W. Wainwright. John Wainwright was the band director in Fostoria and the winner of the first national band contest in 1923. Wainwright was a native of Ohio and started out working in the printing industry. While working as a typesetter in Oberlin, Wainwright organized a boys' band that he told would play for the president if they kept practicing over the summer. Wainwright was encouraged to seek more instruction at the nearby Oberlin Conservatory. After attending the conservatory, Wainwright joined the Naval Reserve Band as an assistant director. During a visit with the Naval Band to Fostoria, the superintendent of schools, F. H. Warren, was so impressed by Wainwright that he offered him a position in Fostoria when his enlistment ended. Wainwright produced excellent bands and engendered loyalty from the community despite his fierce and demanding teaching style. The contest held in Fostoria and organized by Wainwright was a success, and more national contests were held over a 12-year period. The collaboration between music educators and the music industry helped to firmly establish instrumental music in American public schools. Band contests, though much evolved from their original format, are still very much alive in the public school curriculum today. 1926 marked another important milestone for music education. A music supervisor in Michigan by the name of Joseph Maddie was asked to organize the National High School Orchestra. Maddie was a prominent music educator in the early 20th century. After attending college in Kansas, he joined the Minneapolis Symphony Orchestra as a viola player. He took the first known position of music supervisor for instrumental music in Rochester, New York, and later moved to a similar position in Richmond, Indiana. It was while teaching in Indiana that Maddie was exposed to one of the earliest all-state performing groups when he conducted the Indiana All-State Orchestra for the Indiana State Teachers Association in 1924. The National High School Orchestra was organized 2 years later in 1926 by Maddie for a performance at the Music Supervisor National Conference in Detroit. A year later, Maddie was asked to bring the NHSO to perform at the National Educators Association meeting in Dallas in April of 1927. Performances were well received, and participants showed a desire to continue rehearsals together during the summer. With the help of Thaddeus Giddings and support from the Music Supervisors National Conference, Maddie helped to establish the National High School Orchestra Camp in Interlochen, Michigan. In a short period of time, the camp's name and purpose morphed from that of an orchestra camp to the National Music Camp, offering instruction in both vocal and instrumental music. Today, the first music camp for high school students is simply known as Interlochen, and has expanded from a summer music camp to include a year-round arts academy and an arts college for adults. The original function of the band in America was more entertainment, with bands participating in parades, concerts, and community festivals playing popular music genres of the era. As the community and professional bands dwindled, the school band was expected to pick up these functions. To fulfill such a commitment, school bands would have had to dally with popular music at that time, a practice that was somewhat frowned upon in public schools. Fast forward to the Tanglewood Symposium. This meeting may have been one of the most important, if not the most important, event in music education history. Of the many items covered by the Tanglewood Declaration, the one that helps to connect our events in this discussion was the acknowledgement of the importance of youth music of the time and the advocacy for it to be included in public school music instruction. Of the 50 or so participants in the symposium, only 2 were of an age to have a connection to youth music. Paul Williams, the 19-year-old magazine editor, and Mike Stahl, the 21-year-old guitarist in a rock band. Paul Williams started what is considered the first magazine dedicated to serious articles about rock music when he founded Crawdaddy during his freshman year of college in 1966. His publication predates the widely known publication Rolling Stone by some 18 months. He worked as a music critic and freelance writer until his death at the age of 64. His inclusion in the panel is significant, both for his age and the progressive nature of his publication. Williams' arguments for the inclusion of popular music centered more on the aesthetics of rock music, a popular and emerging educational philosophy. It is interesting to note that despite stating music for all periods, styles, forms, and cultures belong in the curriculum, the writers of the Declaration still felt it necessary to specifically list popular teenage music to clarify their stance on its inclusion, speaking to the volatility of the subject of the time. The Tanglewood Symposium provided organized direction for music education for the first time in its long history. Aesthetic focus helped music education move beyond its utilitarian functions of the past and into a future where music was taught for music's sake. The direction provided by Tanglewood led us to another milestone in music education, the inclusion of arts education in the core curriculum. In 1994, the Goals 2000 Educate America Act was signed into law, marking the first time arts education was acknowledged as a core subject in the public school curriculum by the federal government. This inclusion, along with the establishment of the national standards for music education, would help solidify music as a subject in the school curriculum. While this act did solidify arts education as a whole, increasing graduation requirements in places where arts education was not already required, it may have reduced music's primacy among subjects included under the umbrella of the arts. That's all we have for this video today. Thanks for watching.